or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives. I'm Debi, your certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root causes of their health and mindset issues. And I help them create a custom, natural, holistic strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. As a health coach, I'm not allowed to say that I heal, treat, diagnose, or even prevent diseases. I can certainly make your body more efficient by reducing symptoms. You'll feel better, be more productive, and enjoy life more. Not many people have released 70 pounds, had a health and mindset transformation, and kept fit and trim for over a decade. I have, and I have staying power. And it's been over 12 years. I even became a half marathon runner at the age of 51 when I never ran from childhood to adulthood due to foot pain. And I've done 9 half marathons so far. Mindset is the key to lasting change. As a certified holistic health coach, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I guide people to clean, toxic-free foods and high-quality essential nutrients. My coaching is for optimizing your health, whatever is needed, releasing weight efficiently when needed, and enhancing your mindset. With my clients, I help them recognize that the thoughts, feelings, and emotions drive their actions and results. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's why it's crucial to have a positive mindset in life. It's also imperative to manage and release low vibrational emotions such as fear, frustration, and doubt, because all it's going to do is slow you down physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Like a hot air balloon with ballasts, I help my clients release those emotional ballasts and baggage so they can uplift to a better, happier, healthier life. In turn, they are releasing their stress. They're getting healthier, and they are reshaping their core beliefs. You will see and feel the differences with my coaching programs. Ask me about them. Set up a complimentary consultation at Debi Changes Lives. That's DebiChangesLives and Victory ES.com/Linktree, LINKTREE, or use that QR code, and I'll guide you to that better, happier, healthier life with custom, natural, unique, holistic solutions for you in the areas of mind, body, and soul. And as I told you, not yet. You can bring that down if you want. As I told you, I guide people to clean toxic-free foods and maintain a toxic-free lifestyle, which includes a toxic-free home. Now, remember, our skin and our lungs do absorb toxins from the environment around us, whether it's outside our home or inside our home. So prioritizing a toxic-free home inside with products that are toxic-free lifestyle will benefit you and everyone around you and your environment and surroundings. Consider the broader pollution issues that we have these days. A greener planet is imperative. Now, today, I have Jeanette Anderson. You can bring that slide up. The director and co-founder and co-owner and global ambassador of Nature Direct. Nature Direct started in 2007. That's quite a while ago. And Nature Direct actually produces 100% organical source essential oil cleaning and disinfecting solutions formulated in Provence, France. And now it's manufactured in Australia and exported to Canada, UK, United States, and New Zealand. And with 32 years of experience in direct selling industry, Jeanette has worked in Asia, including Hong Kong, Singapore, China, New Zealand, and of course, we already said the United States, Canada, UK, and Australia. She has reached top levels of leadership and performance and served as a pivotal field consultant for 5 years with highlights for children. And Columbus, Ohio, that brings back memories. My goodness. 3 times nominee and finalist for the Australian Tessa Testra, I guess spell that wrong, Business Women of the Year, and featured in the Australian Business Review Weekly. And as an exciting leader and entrepreneur of a new and emergency industry, sustainable, eco-friendly, and healthy home products. We'll be discussing why our cleaning products are so dangerous and how to detox your home. So let's welcome back Jeanette Anderson, the director, the co-founder, the co-owner, and the global ambassador of Nature Direct. Back to my show. Jeanette, welcome back.
Good morning from Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, exactly. You're up bright and early. Actually, it's only 8 o'clock there, but start of your day. So I'm really happy that you're able to come back. So we can talk about this product. Now you began Nature Direct in 2007, and why did you invest time and energy developing Nature Direct's range of products?
Okay, well, that's a great question, so thank you. At the time, I was working with a company out of the US actually, and out of Hong Kong, and they were approached to introduce and manufacture a plant-based disinfectant and cleaning products for people's homes, air quality, an air cleaning product. So we went looking to see what the competition was, and strangely enough, back in those days, there was no competition. There wasn't really people who were promoting plant-based products at all. It seems like a long time ago, and not so long, but it was at the time. So, from that point of view, we really started doing hunting around, trying to find exactly what else was on the market. And we really found that this particular formula, which is formulated in Provence in France, and we manufacture it in Australia, was really unique. And we started to get it out into the market just through connections that we had, and we were very surprised at how quickly people adapted to something that they loved the fragrance of, and they loved the results of what they were getting. So we thought, okay, let's run with this product, and here we are in 2026.
Wow. You're beyond the 7-year or 10-year. Is it going to work? Because that's quite established. So that's wonderful. Now, everybody doesn't really understand or believe or generally aware of how the dangers of our toxic cleaning products for air control products, and also in our homes, and also our cleaning products in our workplace. So could you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. Well, the other thing that we found that was really unique as well is that the only way you could actually, we tried to find out what was the ingredients within products that were on the market, and it was almost impossible. So what we did find was a level of warnings on a product. So that was the only way that you could gauge what was in the product. But unfortunately, most people, I'm not sure what you're like when you walk down the supermarket aisle, but often you'll find products where the writing is very small, where you don't know what to do because there's beautiful pictures on all of the products, and they look nice. You might have seen an ad on TV. You might also be using what your mother and your grandmother used before, because often something like bleach, for example, which is sodium hypochlorite, was very commonly used by our grandparents, and my mother, I know she did, and I started doing that as well. So what we did do is we started really looking at the ingredients, and that became almost impossible. But I do have one that I prepared earlier, so I'll just explain it now. This is, I'm not sure if you can see it there, but it is an air control product, an aerosol.
A little bit. Rotate it so we see rotate the it's out. There you go.
Yeah. There we go. Now, I'm not going to be sanctimonious because this is actually out of my bathroom, but the warning on these products are very simple, and when you start to read them, you start to think, heavens above, what's going on? I'll read it to you, and you'll get an idea whether you would choose to use this product, Debbie. Causes eye irritant, deep out of reach of children and pets, highly flammable. Avoid contact with food and food utensils, may irritate eyes. Avoid spraying near eyes. Before using this product throughout your home, use in one room and wait 24 hours to ensure that no one has any physical reaction to the product. There's a special warning for people who have asthma and allergies. Consult your doctor before using this product in your home. Before spraying, remove birds and animals. Ventilate normally prior to returning animals and birds to the treated area. Now, I ask you that question, and anybody who may be listening in the future, would you honestly buy that? If you, I mean, it's a very, bright-looking aerosol, has flowers and a brook of water bubbling down the hill. Would you actually buy something like that to use in your home?
No.
No. Well, and of course, what it does, it eliminates odors and odor-causing bacteria in the air, and it's an outdoor scent. But it is obviously a highly toxic product with highly toxic ingredients. And I could pull out a dozen other products that you probably relate to, not so much in the US, but most people would understand. Bathroom cleaners, toilet cleaners, oven cleaners, and of course, air control. And that is really where I've found my niche, if you like, because air control is really very difficult to gauge in someone's home, and I'm looking forward to explaining exactly why it's such an important area to consider when you are in your home and what you're buying and what you're actually using.
Yeah. When it comes to those plugins, those are not very good either, are they? Do you have plugins?
What? Sorry?
They're plugins. They're like this little thing you slip into.
Well, generally they're synthetic, and in fact, mostly they're synthetic, and they have to be because they've got to, and they're also inflammatory as well. So that's the other thing. You've got to be really careful. You doesn't catch fire. They're very pungent in their smell, and what they are is incredibly toxic because they carry what they call VOC. That's volatile organic compounds, and they are highly toxic and highly reactive in someone's home. And certainly if you have animals, if you have young children, and if you have any seniors in your life, for example. I have 2 little grandchildren. They're only 3 and 4. And, just something I was reading about this morning as I was looking through some of my material. Children, they breathe more air because they're in relative to their body size. So your baby, your child, your 10-year-old, your 12-year-old, they are basically breathing in toxic volatile organic compounds. And they can be found not just in aerosols, but they can also be found in new cars. Doesn't everybody know that new car smell? And then, of course, there are oven cleaners. There's also everything that's got with no fragrance, they say, and they're often the most dangerous because you actually can't smell them. So there's no smell whatsoever, and they proudly promote that. But that's actually something that's you don't even know what's going on in the air in your home. So
yeah. A lot of people don't realize that they're using cleaning products in children's toys, and so they're holding it with their hands or putting it in their mouths
all the time. Yeah, all the time, and surfaces as well. Yep.
Yeah.
So we actually promote a plant-based cleaner, and it's actually it can be used by children. In fact, you can put your children to work. I know my little ones do it as well. They clean windows. They love that. Squirt, 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 and they get all excited because they're helping Nanny. And that's something that a lot of families do. Glass, for example, glass is something that often people use really strong glass cleaners because that's what they're meant to be, and they are very, very filled with what they call volatile organic compounds as well. And often you'll see people giving their spray cleaner to their children, even their teenagers. We're talking 13, 14-year-old girls, boys who are developing, their immune system's still developing. And so there are so many dangers, and we just basically thought, why are we even thinking about using these products when there's something that is really, really powerful as a cleaner and very effective. Now, admittedly, this particular product fits many of the requirements of the EU. That's the the European Union. So their standards are much higher than certainly the US, and they're a lot higher than Australia. Funnily enough, even China have better standards than what America and Australia have as well. So that'll give you an idea of the type of, if you like, the people who basically go through and look at these products. It happens in a random situation. Not everybody sees this kind of stuff because it's just not promoted by anybody when you're talking about our products.
Well, they are dangerous products. They're flammable. They they give you irritation in your lungs when you breathe it in.
Yeah.
If people are asthmatic, they're even more sensitive to that. And it's something you got to really consider. I know it's a tradition or a lifestyle that you adopted from your family, but there's no reason why you can't start a new lifestyle for your children.
Well, that's true. And any seniors, actually. So, I mean, what you'll find with VOCs as well, babies in particular, are really susceptible because their nose carries what they call mucus-bearing tissue. So what they do is they breathe in this mucus-bearing tissue and they react to it. Now, they may not react to it at that particular time, and they may just be snuffling or whatever around their nose. And what you'll find is that it then starts to compromise their mucus-bearing tissue. So then they become more susceptible to other things that are in the air because they've actually damaged the mucus-bearing tissue within their nose and their children and young children as well. So volatile organic, they come in every shape and form. So I think the thing is, why would you choose to use something like this and bleach and then those toxic cleaners when you can use something really safe? Yep.
I don't know, but people are reluctant because they're so used to buying the store-bought chemicals and instead of using non-toxic care home products, it's almost like it's embedded in them. They see their moms.
Yeah, it is. It's a habit. It's a habit. And in fact, there's a really interesting article in Birmingham I was reading about the University of Birmingham. One spray of a typical spray and wipe, I'm sure you have that type of product, is throughout the house in about probably under a minute. Just one spray, that's all. So it's really, those sorts of things are really, they're insidious throughout the home. So I mean, I'll tell you a quick little story about a childcare centre. Nature Director's been in childcare centres or schools and kinders for a number of years, and I remember I was part of a cleaning organisation called Clean Scene. It was pretty boring, but very interesting also. So what they did is they used a childcare centre that had been cleaned by a regular cleaner overnight. And then what they did the next morning is they actually measured the level of VOCs within that childcare centre. So firstly, they measured up to 1.8 metres, which is about 6 foot. And the levels of the VOC were very, very small and certainly not necessarily having any impact on human health. Then they measured the air quality at 30 centimetres, which is 12 inches, and they found it was more than 1,000 times the acceptable level of VOCs in that childcare centre. Now, the difficulty is you can't just open the window and expect everything to just whiz out the window. You need to have the air extracted. So there are a number of things you can use to prevent that, and certainly changing your cleaning products in your school situation or your office. I mean, a lot of people I know, my daughter struggles with allergies all the time. She works in an office in Melbourne, and she said once you start using, particularly when it was during COVID, when you start using some kind of spray and wipe, the fragrance was so strong, it literally goes, wow, what is that? And your nose just instantly starts to react to it. So I think you'll find that that happens often. So what they found is they then had to basically use something to extract the VOCs from the childcare centre. That was hideously high. I mean, it was ridiculous. So, and in fact, Air purifiers are really effective, and we have one that a lot of people use. It's very affordable. It's small. It's portable. So you can take it with you. A lot of people I know who travel, they pop it in there. They take it with them in their RVs or in their caravan or whatever I'm not sure what they call them in the US or when they're traveling. And I know a lot of people have them in their seniors room for aged care facilities as well. So they're very popular, and they're something that if they, they're very safe to use, and they make a big difference in the air quality in your home. Oh, one more thing. My ex next door neighbour, she's moved away now, but her son, when he was about 6, suddenly there was this massive, an ambulance arrived, and of course we all rushed outside to make sure he was okay, what was going on. And what we found is little Hudson was highly allergic to curry fragrance, and it had triggered his asthma. So they were cooking curry, and you might know it's quite pungent, and he fainted, and then bang, they had to literally EpiPen. It was just awful, and that was because of curry, onions, or cooking onions, strong fragrant spices, not necessarily cooking, but essential oils are very high in volatile organic compounds. So you've really got to be very careful what you spray and use around your home as well. It's not just cleaning products.
Right. I just want to, I hope they fix my audio. I just want to express the experience. Okay, I was on mute. Okay. I just want to express the experience I had with the Pure Air Revitalizer. My son lives in Tucson, Arizona. They have these chubascos, these sandstorms. And he, unfortunately, he got caught in the sandstorm while driving, and he got home, and I guess he got sick from that, and the house was sick and things like that. And I used that air purifier in there to clean everything up, and everything was a lot better. But you should have seen that water in the air purifier. It was really dark.
Yeah.
And I know I've seen pictures of places where people get their hair done. Or you want to explain that?
Yeah, I know. I'm not sure what they call it because I don't have curly hair, but you can, at the hairdressers, you can get your hair straightened. What's it called, that particular chemical? It's quite toxic. I'm thinking, I can't remember what it is because I've never had it, but it picks up that kind of odor, if you like. And what it does, the particular formula that you use with the Pure Air Revitalizer, it actually attracts and traps what they call polar particles. Now, polar particles in the air are those things you can't see them. You often can't smell them. So that's just the things you can that are obvious when you can smell and see them. So what that does is it basically it negatively charges them and dumps them out of the air. That's what happens. It's that simple. So you can use multiple parts, multiple units around the home. I know with my 2 little grandchildren, they have one in each of their rooms, and they can switch it on and off themselves. If it gets knocked over, it just switches off itself. So it's very safe, and they like the noise of it as well, because the white noise is their sleep noise. So they quite like that as well. But it's just another factor to try in a fun way, if you like, and something that's really practical that a young child can actually use.
Yeah, and it's amazing whenever I demonstrate it, because it does isolate light as well. So it gets it's always an attraction thing when I demonstrate it in public, in an indoor facility. I couldn't believe it. I was outside a Bath Beyond, and there was a lot of fragrances coming out there, and that thing got really loaded with dark water again. So it's interesting. We really need to pay attention about how toxic these odor, these that we put in the air. They think we're refreshing the air, and it's not. It's actually giving you toxins that you're breathing in that you have no idea. It's an invisible illness, a visible thing that's going to make you ill. And you need to be aware of those things. Now, with the air revitalizer, you have multiple concentrates. Do you want to describe how they work?
Yeah, well, we found then that we have a regular one, which is like a pine kind of fragrance. I'll just, before I do that, I'll just explain the levels that our scientists in France go to actually use the essential oils that are within those formulas. And they are within a formula, so they don't escape. They're not something that you don't need to worry about safety. We have a cat, a very old geriatric cat, and it helps keep the smells away. But we have for example, we have an adult sleep formula, and within that, it actually carries a lavender, which a lot of people love. But certainly, what they found, the lengths they go to get the lavender, it is grown in Provence, and it's grown on a mountain called Mont Ventoux. And if you do follow the Tour de France, you'll know where that is. It's grown on the sun side of the mountain. It's harvested when it's no more than 30 centimeters, which is 12 inches. And it also must be grown in what they call chalk soil, like a shale. And that's what picks up the properties. In another one of our products, the hypoallergenic one, there is a type of vanilla. And the vanilla, has only comes from Madagascar. Only, that's it. The eucalyptus only comes from northern Tasmania. And one thing you'll find is those particular products, those particular areas, that's the terroir is quite different. And I guess the best way to describe it, these are indigenously sourced, what they call indigenously sourced, which is basically from the land that they originally were grown in. And I think wine is a good way to explain it. If you are a wine drinker, a red wine drinker, and you have a glass of wine, Shiraz from France, or Shiraz, and then you basically have a glass of wine from California, it tastes nothing like each other. And it's to do with the terroir of the soil where these plants are actually grown. So you will find that the level of science and expertise that's gone into these formulas is really unique. And for something that's very affordable as well. So, yeah.
And for people in the United States, she's saying terrain of the soil. So
yeah,
that's what she's saying.
The terroir, they call it. Yeah, the wine people call it the terroir. So there you go. Anyway, but
yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, it really depends on what the soil has and its components for it to be different for any essential oil.
Yeah.
And so it should come from where it's best, like lavender coming from France.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. And you've already said that these formulas are safe for children, seniors, and pets.
Yeah. So what you'll find, they're actually they're used within the formula, within the molecule, so they can't escape. It's a chemical reaction. That's how it works. So they so the sleep one, I've described that. The regular one is very popular because it's got that fresh pine sort of fragrance. And then there is the hypoallergenic one. I don't particularly like the hypoallergenic, but because I'm not a fond of vanilla. But my husband loves it, so it depends on personal preference. So you only need 5 mils, which is I think capsule or something in the US, and that's a really good affordable way, because I think these days everybody needs to be cautious of the cost of living with electricity bills, for example. And this is very, very affordable. It uses less voltage than that of a 15-watt light globe. So they're very, very affordable to use. It does have an attendance light on it, which is not intended to be as a night light, but it does help when you are going to a senior or a child in the middle of the night. You can turn on the warm orange light. Because remember, light is has a big impact on sleep. So rather than something that's blue, it has a very soft orange light. So you can go in and make sure that perhaps the baby's crying, or perhaps your senior can't find their drink bottle or whatever. It's a very effective way and safe way of actually using it.
Yeah, so the revitalizer is economical for not using a lot of electricity. And that's what you were saying. Now, there's a sleep formula. You already talked about the hypoallergenic. Did you talk about the sleep formula?
Yeah, I did. That's the one with the lavender in it. There's the adult sleep formula.
Okay.
We say adult because mostly adults like it, but yeah.
The
And
sleep
that would be one of the most popular. I know people who, because they're not really, they're not particularly expensive, but you'll find that people will use them. Well, different people within the house like different fragrances. So we've got several revitalizers in our house. At the moment, we're actually not living in our house because we're going through a major restoration. So, but I know that when I get back, which is in about 2 weeks' time, I'll be able to, I'll be ramping up those 3 machines I've got all the time, getting rid of the VOCs out of the air.
Okay. So there are those the only 3: the Pure Air Sleep Formula and the hypoallergenic.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
And then you have other cleaning products too. So the even clean surfaces like the super clean. You want to explain those at all?
Yeah, I do. The super strength cleaner is a degreaser. So I'm not sure whether people understand what that is, but it basically lifts grease off the surface, which is very effective. And the other product we have, which is really popular, is a glass cleaner. And glass cleaner, the commercial glass cleaners are highly toxic. I'm going to hark back to the clean scene group I belong to, and what they found is that people who sat next to windows in offices were more sick than people who had a desk in the middle of the room, away from the windows. Because what happens when you are in an office, often they have big glass windows or whatever, and the sun would hit the glass and really vamp up the level of volatile organic compounds that come from the glass cleaners that are used inside that building. And that was just the most bizarre thing for me to think about. Who would imagine it? I mean, often people want to sit near the window when they work in an office because it's lovely and bright. But you wouldn't even think that the glass cleaner has such an impact on your health when you go.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I like using that super cleaner. To use
the super cleaner is great. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much that's a great product. And the other one we have is what they call Enviro Mist, ENVIRO Mist. And what that is, that's a disinfectant sanitizer. So I'm just going to spend a few little minutes talking about that. Cleaners are often commonly used, and often when you buy a store-bought cleaner, you'll see that it's also a sanitizer, which is absolutely a furphy. Do you know what that means, furphy? Maybe you don't know what that word is. It's actually not true, because when you have a dirty surface, you would clean it with a cleaner. But you can't disinfect a dirty surface. So you basically have to clean it first. Then you have to use a different sanitizer and disinfect it to disinfect that surface. So I'll say it again. You cannot disinfect a dirty surface. You need to clean it first, which is why we have the super strength cleaner. And then you would spray with the Enviromist and let it air dry. Really important to do that when you're dealing with children's toys, high chairs, change tables, bedside tables or whatever. So clean it first with the super strength cleaner, and it works while it's wet. So you spray it on, let it sit there for about, 60 seconds, and then wipe it up and then spray with the Enviromist and let it air dry. That's a really effective way if you've got gastro in your home, and if you have young children, there's only a matter of time before that comes along. And then you might also have an aged person. Somebody may have the flu, and these are things that you can really practically use to keep the house clean. Door handles, toilet seats, toilet buttons. It's something when you've got gastro in the family, or a flu, or some kind of nasty virus or bacteria, you really want to make sure that they're clean and then they're disinfected. I hope that helps.
Okay, I use super cleaner to clean the shower drains. Sometimes you get too much of that calcium from the water, and I use it with the well, we don't have access to this stuff, but I'm still using the Tough Guy.
Yeah, they're great cloths. I know we don't have them in the US, which is a shame. because it's almost a mild scourer, which it works really well. So that's something that it's very effective. And this, I mean, at home, I have 2 bathrooms and a powder room downstairs. But what I do have on my bathroom is the spray bottle hanging on the door so that it can be clean while you're actually in the shower. I mean, dare I say, how many people have cleaned their bathrooms without your clothes on? Because you wouldn't really want to get any kind of bleach on your new tracksuit pants or your new leisure wear or whatever. So what you'll find is that people will, because our products are pH neutral, you can clean while you are in the shower. So that's a nice, safe thing to think about.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now, let's describe the air purifier. It's almost like a size of a volleyball, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It actually has it has a lid on it where the mechanics are. Underneath it has a bowl which has a maximum line. So you fill the bowl up to the maximum line. It's probably about, I don't know, a couple of inches. And then you basically pop a capful of the Enviro air into that bowl, and then you would basically pop the bowl lid on the top and make sure it's all sitting there properly, and then you would turn the switch on, and that's it. That's how simple it is. So what I recommend, you can clean it, not so much certainly not around the mechanics, but when you would lift the lid off very carefully and then basically pop it down on a towel, perhaps. Don't turn it upside down when you're cleaning it, and you can twist off the spindle and some of the mechanisms around to actually clean the dirt away. The spindle that spins inside, it's astonishing the amount of stuff that you find inside that spindle, particularly if you have animals in your house as well.
Yes, I can imagine. Okay, so what what is the offer that we're giving our audience today?
Well, the offer today is because you're really coming into spring, well and truly, and what you would receive is in that pack. It's real. I'm just looking at it now. That's a really good price actually as well, and it has a bottle of the hypoallergenic. It has a bottle of the regular Enviro Air, and it also has a bottle of the adult sleep formula as well. So you are really getting a great package. And I know when you get it home, I can just see what you're doing now. You're thinking, okay, great, get it out of the box and have a look at it, fill it up to the max line. Don't forget to put the solution in, and then you're ready to go. A lot of people often ask me, can I use my revitalizer with an essential oil diffuser? No, you can't. Well, you can, but you're wasting your money, because what the revitalizer does with the formula, it's designed to attract and trap polar particles. So what it will do is basically trap the particles of the essential oil and dump it out of the air. So you're really wasting your money in that regard. So maybe keep your diffuser for use in the bathroom when you're having a bath, or perhaps when you're wanting to have a lazy Saturday morning or Sunday morning bath or whatever. And that's probably that's the best advice I can give you in that regard. So it does not use you can't just put essential oils into the revitalizer, because oil and water do not mix, and these particular formulas have been formulated specifically to be used in that with this particular machine.
Yes, it's meant for that machine. And you can get this by going to my set up a complimentary consultation at my link tree. That's DebiChangesLives.com/linktree. And there's a QR code. And then I will get your address, all your information, and send it off to you. And this is a unique bundle that Jeanette put together.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
You just save $28, $27 something. That's a good deal. Yep.
It's a really good deal. So now this is a wonderful offer, Jeanette, and thank you for being on my show again. And I will have you back. Would you stick around for closing remarks?
Well, I suggest that, you're going to think long and hard about looking at making sure that you read labels on things. And if you can't understand them, then don't buy them. So I think using a plant-based product is easy. And I think you'll really appreciate the power of the super strength and the feeling of safety and relief when you're disinfecting your home with the Enviro Mist. So I think that we often think about what we put in our mouths and what we're using to eat, But, think about the environment in our homes and offices and school classrooms and kindergartens, and you'll really appreciate why I'm so passionate about this particular whole particular product that will really have a big impact in your home, a positive impact.
Okay, well, I want you to stick around for your closing remarks. So please stick around, and I'm going to, go through some material from me. So remember, I do revitalize people's lives in many different areas of health and mindset. I start off with your gut and mindset. I also help you with, blood sugar, hormones, brain and heart, bone and joint, and immunity. And I help people who are anxious up to who are athletes, because I do guide you to clean, toxic-free foods and obviously other products and high-quality essential nutrient products that reduce symptoms. You'll feel better, possibly release some weight. I released the additional 20 pounds, which made it up to 70, and it's going to all uplift your mood. With my mindset coaching, I help you release your stress, emotions, and emotional entanglements from the past. I'm there as you're reshaping your core beliefs. Your mindset is enhanced. With my health optimization and weight release, your body's going to be more efficient. That is the mind-body connection that makes your heart and soul sing. Ask me about my program. Set up a complimentary consultation at DebiChangesLives.com. Linktree, again, there is that QR code. And when you do that, you get to know me. I get to know you. You can go to the next slide. And I'll guide you to your optimum health. And it first starts with 1 or 2 assessments. And the first one's the health evaluation, where you rate your symptoms in the last 30 days in 4 categories of health. Some questions are in multiple categories. Answer them all. You'll get a baseline score. It's just a baseline score. Don't worry about how big or small the number is. And I'll review it with you. And then I create that custom natural holistic strategy that we'll use to reduce that number every month. I also have 2 different body scans. I prefer to do the Zeralink because I can send it remotely and internationally. It's gone to Australia as well as South Africa. The Zeralink is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send a link to your phone, and where you can scan your face. And what it's going to do is it's going to go through your skin to look at the blood for components of energetic, functional, emotional, and different body systems and lifestyles. That emotional component is such a hidden gem, because it connects an organ to an emotion like anger to liver, according to Chinese medicine. It doesn't create a diagnosis, it creates a wellness report of biomarkers out of range and products and services that bring it back into range. It's quite an intensive report, so I review it with you. The cost is $75, but you get $25 back with a program or product if you move forward with my services. The Zeralink is a transdermal optical imaging app, also known as To the Eye, and you can look up its accuracy on PubMed.gov. That's PubMed.gov. And when people take to the scan, they're really amazed what their body tells them, and you'll be too. Curious, just get a scan done to see what it does, or ask me questions at my consultation site. Also on the site are my programs. Take Your Body Back. It's a 12-week weight release mindset coaching program where you can utilize a new version of you that will drive you to success. All coaching is done on Zoom. The first one's always private to you because I'm a certified HIPAA health practitioner. Any assessment is private. I go over those assessments. I give you a choice between 3 programs. One of them is a natural approach to the GLP-1 with no injections or side effects. And you choose one of those programs. I give you directions. I also give you instructions how to create that new version of you that will drive you with emotion and passion to achieve your health and weight transformation goals throughout your journey. The rest of the coaching, whether you are as a group or private, is the same. We'll be celebrating your wins. I'll be guiding over gaps with health and mindset tips and showing you how to use your boards. You will become a new you. You do now need to contact me at a consultation because this program has changed quite a bit. If you're a do-it-yourself or why fast is for you. It's an intermittent fasting program that gets your cells and body humming and turn business your metabolism with rich, dense nutrition, high quality essential nutrients, with a program of exercises and recipes. And if you have any questions, you set up a consultation with me and I'll answer your questions. If you think you need some coaching, then you can do a 2 or 4 week program, and it's up to you if you're going to pay for more coaching after that. With mindset enhancement and health optimization, you can try using these smaller programs, but truly the larger programs are more economical, but I can use a smaller program to create a custom program for you. I'm still offering Debi's coaching chats, which is a 30-minute complimentary intimate group setting, not recorded session, where the video audience can see the topics. The radio audience needs to email me for the topics. And these meetings are on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And you need to go to debichangeslives.com/chats or use that QR code to be part of the meeting. And you'll find out what my coaching is all about. And finally, learn more about alternate health, service, programs, products, offers, articles, blogs, upcoming shows, events, and promos by subscribing to my newsletter, which is at debichangeslives.com. This time /radio TV show, all in lowercase. You can also use that QR code, and I give you a gift, a 30-day health and mindset daily action journal where you can record your gratitude, thoughts, feelings, and emotions, as well as food, water, supplements, and exercising on a daily basis. You can even track your measurements. And also, you want to review it on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and celebrate your wins or find your gaps to work on. Now, if you need help bridging that gap, your contact me for coaching. This journal is a great health and mindset awareness tool. Now, I'm certain that you found this show educational, informative, and enjoyed it. Reach out to me for my services, programs, and offers, and this discounted version of the Revitalizer with 3 concentrates. And reach out to Jeanette with any questions. She'll forward it back to me if you're going to purchase anything. She had to go today because there's something going on. And so she kind of did the closing remarks a little bit early, which was fine. So continue to enjoy my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, where your holistic journey begins.